I've developed pretty strong boundaries over the years, and they're constantly being tested. As I grow older and develop more skills as a practitioner, I'm learning that boundaries and discernment are the skills of a healer. Boundaries aren't just keeping things and people out, though. Boundaries are also about choosing the who, what, where, and when of involvement. Discernment is the skill that allows energy to flow, pacing the energy, determining what is allowed, timing, words, silence, and placement of hands. Discernment is a nuanced and sophisticated skill. This is Soul Mechanics, practical tune-ups to be a healthy human, and I'm your host, Kate Foley. I have no problem saying no to anyone anymore. When you sense or see something that isn't within the boundaries of your intention to help, if you sense something that isn't helpful on or around the person on the table or in your life, say no. It's a simple, gentle no. But here's the caveat. If you can't say no to someone outside of your healing session, you don't have the boundaries to say no in the session. Pay attention to what I just said. This is the link. The way you manage your life and relationships is directly correlated to the way you can manage your spirituality or a healing session. Am I going to tell you that you have no business touching people? No. Everyone needs to learn, but I don't want you touching me if you don't know how to say no. Boundaries are everything. If you have established boundaries and you can hold them by saying no, then you know when the boundary has been crossed or when the boundary is being tested. That's why I can allow without limitations in my sessions, because I have boundaries and I have a sense for what is helpful and what isn't. If you think that by just saying, I only want love and light to enter this space, what do you do when the client, who's coming to you for help, by the way, has an issue that isn't what you consider love and light? Define love and light. This phrase actually irritates me. I have difficulty remaining polite and not rolling my eyes when I hear it. Sending you love and light just seems kind of trite and vacant. It seems like denial, honestly. It's like the person saying this is looking away from the whole picture or no picture. Or it's just a way of sweeping everything under the proverbial carpet. When someone says this to me, I think of it as a platitude. I know they're well-intentioned, but I'm the kind of person who picks words apart because words matter. I grimace when I hear these words because they sound nice, but what do they even mean? My mother used to constantly tell me how happy she was. As a child, I remember riding in the car with her, and out of nowhere, she would begin telling me, I'm so happy. This would go on and on for 10 to 15 minute stretches. Even as a young person, I could hear the truth, that she was trying desperately to convince herself that she was happy. Finally, when I was a teenager and she started with her happy rants, I confronted her and I said, Mom, I don't think happy people need to say it over and over again. I'm beginning to think that you aren't happy at all. She never responded well to my confrontations, but I've learned to recognize this as a sign of a deeper truth moving its way to the surface. Some people might say, hey, wait a second, maybe she's just grateful. Well, here's the difference. Typically, people who are grateful will talk about what makes them feel grateful. They'll list relationships, or how beautiful this earth is, or how much they love their job, or their reliable car, or their awesome children, or the sunlight hitting their face. In my mother's case, she was convincing herself of something that wasn't true. She couldn't think of anything other than the word happy. She kept saying the word as if she was hoping to summon it. She couldn't find anything in her life that was true except the pit in her stomach. In my experience, this talk of love and light is similar. What do you mean by love? There are some very loose interpretations of love. I've seen people hit someone they proclaim to love. I've seen people manipulate and imprison people they say they love. If we're going to ask for love to enter a space, we better be really specific in defining how that looks. And you're asking for light for someone? Do you mean that literally or figuratively? What's so terrible about the dark? Maybe that's exactly what would heal someone. Maybe facing silent darkness and feeling lost is exactly what leads someone to finding themselves. My point about all of this is that you had better be very specific in your request when you place your hands on someone. Or how about this? You could make it easier on yourself and way more efficient. You could listen to them tell you what they need. They make the request, not you. You are merely a conduit. And let's talk about that. Being a conduit is no easy task. Conduits need to have full integrity to carry a current. They require thick insulation and strong wires with strong connections to carry a strong current. Particular metals carry a current better than others. My analogy is synonymous with people. You can't carry a strong current and connect to someone else if you don't take care of yourself. If you don't like silence, how can you bring peace to someone else? If you don't like confrontation, how can you expect to redirect someone off a dysfunctional path? Here's the bottom line. The current you carry will only be as strong as your integrity. Your physical strength and practicality are important when working with spiritual energies. You can become very ungrounded very fast if you aren't strong enough. I don't know where this idea came from, but I've had many people come in to see me and tell me how powerful they are because electrical devices always malfunction around them. This isn't happening because a person is powerful. This is happening because a person isn't grounded. Electrical devices are malfunctioning because you can't hold a current. Your body is the vehicle or the medium, if you will. If objects around you are consistently unstable, you might want to take a look at yourself. Are your thoughts racing? Do you have a flair for the dramatic? Are you stuck in an old wounded story? Are you holding on to victimhood? Are you perpetually angry or frustrated? You probably need some grounding. What is grounding? Grounding is essentially being present. It's bringing your entire being, your emotions, your thoughts, physical body, into the ever-present now. That is grounding. Think about a large river on a calm, warm summer day. When I think of this, I think of a placid flow of energy. I often conjure this image when I'm placing my hands on someone. This image carries 100 messages, so I don't need to intend anything. Any intention I configure is feeble in the presence of a natural image like a peaceful river. The earth is herself the ultimate healer. Placing hands on others carries a responsibility with it. It's about something bigger. Every person we touch carries that interaction into their lives and their other interactions. When we're working with others, what we bring to the table is how we live our lives. Are you honest? Are you peaceful? Are the people who surround you supportive and reciprocating? Do you take time to sit with the sacred? Are you aware of your own addictions? Are you aware of your controlling patterns? Do you evaluate your role as a healer? Something that comes up frequently in conversation with other healers and practitioners is our need to help others. I've encountered this over and over again in myself. I do have a need to help. This quality always requires monitoring. that need can easily become dysfunctional. Some people might say, "Why? You're being of service. That's a noble quality." Well, the problem is when I need to help and the other person doesn't want my help. Or breaking it down further. Maybe they don't want my help. Or maybe I can't help them in the way that they need. Or maybe they just want me to listen and not to help them at all. This is when discernment is useful. I need to discern how much of my involvement is desired. But then I also need to discern whether I'm even up for helping. A need to help is different from wanting to help. It's coming from a different place. A need to help others usually stems from something I am lacking. So when I'm helping someone and it's coming from my need, they might feel drained after I help them because it's really about me, not them. Conversely, if I help someone out of wanting to help them, I have no attachment to whether I actually help or not. It's neutral. No expectations, no pressure, no control. This is where a healer should operate. A story I hear frequently is when someone goes to a healer and the healer tells them that they performed some modality or ritual that opened them in perpetuity, or they will be more intuitive than ever, or something has been healed forever, or they've been cured forever. Okay. Do these miraculous events actually happen? Yes. But let me tell you, if the client has no skin in the game, if they've exerted no effort other than payment, and they have no idea what you, the practitioner, is doing, I highly doubt that they will be changed forever. They're going to leave that appointment and go back to their old belief systems, previous relationships, perhaps their old drinking and eating habits. Can any practitioner wave a magic wand and take away someone's deep-seated childhood wounds and subsequent belief systems, leading them to whatever chronic thought and physical patterns they've developed over the years? Should anyone give away their self-accountability that easily? When people give away their self-accountability, aren't they ripe for domination? Where some external force takes away any personal power they've developed over the years as well? When anyone gives away their decision-making power and accountability to an external force, like a healer or any well-intentioned person or institution, they are saying, I want to heal, but I don't want to change my life. I don't want to make any decisions for myself because that might cause me discomfort or inconvenience. This is fear. And guess what? A healer or practitioner might just give someone temporary relief from whatever ailment is causing discomfort or inconvenience. But giving away self-accountability will cause far more damage than any current struggle. As a healer, it's enticing to think about the instant cure scenario. And again, it happens. Miracles really do happen every day. The irony is there are no fireworks when it does happen. People get off the table and go about their lives. A healing doesn't take away all of life's challenges. We move on to others. But most of the time, a healer's job isn't to cure, but rather to gently nudge, or to encourage, or simply to hold a safe space for a weary traveler to rest. We welcome the traveler to sit down, take their boots off, give them some nourishment, mend their clothes, give them a fresh pair of wool socks, and send them on their way. No one can take our path away from us. No one can walk our path for us. We all have circuitous roads, with dark nights and bright mornings, unfamiliar landscapes and welcomed visitors. We have each other, but the path is to be walked alone. This is Kate Foley. Thank you for listening.